Hannibal of Carthage was one of the greatest military commanders in history, known for his daring campaign against Rome. His father, Hamilcar Barca, had fought Rome during the First Punic War, and from a young age Hannibal was taught to hate the Romans. When Hannibal became a general, he vowed to fulfill his father's dream of defeating Rome. In 218 BC, during the Second Punic War, Hannibal set out to attack Rome in a way no one expected. Instead of sailing across the sea like others had done, he decided to take his army through Spain, across the Pyrenees Mountains, and then over the Alps into Italy. It was a risky plan, but Hannibal believed that surprising the Romans would give him the upper hand. Hannibal's army included thousands of soldiers, cavalry, and most famously about 37 war elephants. The journey through the Alps was extremely difficult. The mountains were steep and covered in snow, and the weather was harsh. Many men and animals died from cold, hunger, and accidents. Yet, Hannibal kept pushing forward, inspiring his troops to keep going despite the hardships. When Hannibal finally arrived in Italy, the Romans were shocked. They had not expected an army to come from the north, especially not one that had crossed the Alps. Hannibal quickly proved to be a brilliant tactician. In several battles, including the famous Battle of Cannae in 216 BC, he outwitted the Romans and inflicted devastating defeats. At Cannae, his forces surrounded the larger Roman army and annihilated it, killing tens of thousands of soldiers. For over a decade, Hannibal roamed through Italy, winning battles and gaining allies. However, he never managed to capture Rome itself. The Romans, though suffering many defeats, refused to surrender. Over time, they changed their strategy, avoiding direct battles with Hannibal and attacking Carthage's allies instead. In the end, the tide of the war turned against Hannibal. The Roman general Scipio Africanus invaded North Africa, forcing Hannibal to leave Italy and defend his homeland. In 202 BC, at the Battle of Zama, Scipio defeated Hannibal, marking the end of Carthage's hopes of defeating Rome. Hannibal lived the rest of his life as an exile, moving from place to place to avoid capture by the Romans. Even though he was eventually defeated, his campaign against Rome became legendary, especially his daring crossing of the Alps. It was remembered not just for its bravery but also for the brilliance of a man who came so close to toppling one of the greatest empires in history.